This is the first video that talks about scatter plots. It's possible you did a few of these in Algebra 1. But these, I have a question here that says, have you ever been curious to know if one event affects another event? So for instance, you can see the Cooley ice cream shop that I have here. And it says, as the temperature is rising, the number of customers is also kept, you keep track of the number of customers based on the temperature, and then see if it has some kind of correlation. And so we can kind of see here that there's, this is a discrete graph, not continuous, but you could see like at about, 4 customers, the temperature is between 20 and 30 degrees. But over here, when the temperature is 80 degrees, this was 35 or 50 customers. There seem to be quite a few more customers. So the objective for this video is to introduce scatter plots. This is a scatter plot of data. Introduce and define correlation. Plot some points and find the line of best fit by hand. And we'll talk about, but I have a separate video for the process of graphing scatter plots on a graphing calculator. Okay, so don't copy this down. I'd like for you just to watch on here. This is the kind of problem that you would be given if you wanted to make a scatter plot and then see if there is a correlation between these two things. So you're going to use the given data to make a scatter plot. And you can see here that the fat grams are the x coordinate, and the calories then would be the y. And you can kind of see here along the x-axis are the fat grams, and along the y-axis are the calories. And so breaded fish sticks have 3 grams of fat and about 50 calories. So I would just put a dot there at 350. At 9 grams of fat, it has about 990 calories. So I'm graphing that same one. 7 grams of fat has 170 calories. And 10 grams is 185, which I think is about there. And then 7 is 1. And notice I'm kind of guessing a little bit. Here's another 7 grams roast beef, relatively lean, has 165 calories. And then ham has 19 grams of fat and 245 calories. So that's your scatter plot. Honestly, that's all that is. And then on the next screen, we're just going to analyze then what this data means. And this one actually has a positive correlation. If you tried to put in a line of best fit, that kind of fit between there, where they're all fairly close to it, you could see that this is a line with a positive slope, right? And so they say that it has a positive correlation to it. Okay, so on the next few screens, we're going to see the types of correlation. And so these would be graphs that have already been graphed with data. You could see something here called a high positive correlation. You could see that if I tried to put in the line of best fit, the line that's closest to as many dots as possible, it would have a positive slope, and most of the data points are really close to the line. This one, on the other hand, is a low positive. While if I tried to draw one through, you could see that they're pretty scattered and they're not very close to the line, but they do tend to have a positive correlation. And then, of course, you can see here that if we went backwards like this would be a high negative correlation with a negative slope, and then this one has a low negative. It's still trending towards correlation, but towards that line, the data points, but they're just not very close together. And this is what it would look like if it didn't have a correlation. I mean, you could try to put a line through there, but that line and that line would be just about as effective. So there's really no way of determining from the points if there's a pattern. And so, we would say that there was no correlation in the data. So what you're trying to find is if you had something that was a high correlation, high positive, or a high negative correlation, then that would mean that the data points actually were related to each other in some way. And so that would actually say that they had a correlation. And so we're going to manage this data. We're going to do some things by hand, but then we're also going to put them in the calculator. And then also there are software programs like Excel that are perfect for high numbers of data. In fact, that's what people use out in real life is an Excel spreadsheet to set up the types of data. And so we're gonna have fun with this, and we're gonna learn some more things about two different things that are that correlate. You know, like at the very beginning in the example, the high temperature versus people who buy ice cream. I mean, it seems like that would be a correlation, but is it? And so you would analyze the data. So anyway, this just gives you a taste of what we're going to do, and we're going to do a whole bunch more in class. So I will see you then.